So, hello, everybody. Say hello to all our members of this WhatsApp group, Cybersecurity Level Basic. So, we have been working in the last 2 weeks to launch the new program Cybercore and launching labs in Nigeria to start doing the activities of following our cybersecurity plan program. Let's wait a couple of minutes so the others can join as well. We have been working hard to reach the third month. This is the third month of lessons. In the first 2 months, we did an introduction about cybersecurity because this is a level basic, so we don't want to leave nobody behind. But now we are going to introduce new concepts. And the first big concept is the launching of the Cybercore labs. We will talk about that only a couple of minutes, so I will let the others join this live session of 15 September 2025, only a couple of minutes. So others will join. Okay. We're almost ready. We'll start in 1 minute. So just giving time to others to connect, okay? Okay, so let's start. The others will join quickly. What is really important to say in this new live session? So we launched the Cybercore Labs program, and this is the first time this is happening in an African country to create a network starting from the bottom, starting from students, starting from citizens, and starting from the local community. I'm not saying that there are non-existing cybersecurity units, labs, or offices. We all know that any government has the obligation to launch these kinds of offices and departments. But this project comes from the bottom. This project comes from the civil society, comes from citizens, so comes from local communities. And this is the big breaking news. I launched a call 3 weeks ago. I gave 2 weeks to all the members of the course Cybersecurity Level Basic, and the result was really impressive. Over 40 labs, Cybercore labs, created by our members. Obviously, I did a call. They responded, and the number is really high, over 40. There will be a selection of the best Cybercore labs, but at the moment, this is already a big success. We can also go directly to see the grid, so we'll talk about also the grid of these labs generated. So I will share my screen now and show you the huge result that we showing. Okay, so this is the screen. Now let me add more records for each page. Okay, so as you see, there was a form online, and I asked all the students to talk with their members, with their friends, to launch these Cybercore labs. They went to the online form, filled the form, then I connected the database with this grid I'm showing you, and this is the huge result. So as you see, we have many students that created labs. For example, they already sent me the maps. Really interesting. We have Michael, we have Okike, we have Blessing, Silas, Blessing, Ekbo, and many others. It is really interesting to understand that it was not easy to launch these Cybercore labs for a simple reason. I will now go back to, I will stop sharing my screen. Okay, so it was a good. There was a good reason to wait a couple of minutes because now all the members are joining. I will say hello to Rocco, say hello to Chigaku, and many others. So the big news is that now we will start the activities. What will we start? Okay, let's talk about that. Um, Let's first say, what is a Cybercore lab? Why did I launch this call? I launched a call to create a lab of activities. So not only theory, not only the same things that we always hear when you follow a cybersecurity course. There's a lot of theory, there's a lot of books to read. We don't want that. We don't want it. You can read your books by yourself. You can follow theories on YouTube channels. We want to put our hands inside the project. So we have to code. We have to become coders. We have to become programmers. Because on the other side, hackers are one of the best coders and programmers ever existing. So if we want to become cybersecurity specialists, we must understand the basics of how this world works. So if you're not a coder, if you don't understand scripts, programming, and what's inside and how a computer works, what is operating system, what is an AI ecosystem, so to go deeper into the digital society and doing activities like port sniffing, like scanning, and many, many other stages of a hacker attack. That's why in this first lesson, we will go through all the stages of a cybersecurity hacker attack and understand carefully all these steps. A hacker, when you are attacked by a hacker, that's only the last stage. But before that stage, there are many, many, many stages before. Right in this moment, I can be in the middle of a hacker attention, and he starts doing this monitoring process. After many, many stages, he can decide to launch the attack. So from the detection and the attack in the middle, there are many, many stages. That's why we need a lab, the Cybercore lab, to start digging into this world that many times it is not well explained. Obviously, the Cybercore Lab is open to all the members of this course. Over 40 Cybercore Labs in Nigeria with only one call. We will do a selection and to detect the best Cybercore Labs. We will help all the other Cybercore Labs if there's something missing. So we will give them more time to be at the same level of all the competitive Cybercore labs. So, what is the condition to launch a Cybercore lab inside the program called Cybercore? First of all, it cannot be based on webinars like this. No, we need a physical place. We need a notebook because, as we know, hackers do not do attacks with their smartphone. No, they do attacks with their notebook, with their PC desktop connected to powerful computers. So, this is the reason why we must understand that it's time, after 2 months of webinars we did, it's time to start launching these activities. The conditions of a Cybercore lab is, I got many messages coming in that this means that everybody is really interested to follow this lesson. So let me check. Okay. So we need a place. If you're a member and a student of the cybersecurity course, we need a place, a physical place to meet with others. We need a notebook like this one I have here, or a PC desktop computer, or more than one, because usually the activities of the students is around 15, 20 minutes. And we must give time to other students to do their own work and activities. So let's say 15, 20 minutes per student. So in 1 hour, 4 students can use one notebook. If you are eight, we need two notebooks, and bigger the bigger the group is, at least we need more than one notebook and one PC desktop. We need also a good internet connectivity, broadband connectivity. So at least we must guarantee a business continuity with the connection. Nothing must drop. So then we have the best part, which is the group. It must be a brilliant, smart group. All these concepts cannot be remembered by only one person at the beginning. When you will follow then other levels of cybersecurity course, maybe intermediate or expert, you will have a better mindset. So you have a better knowledge and a better awareness of how to remember all these concepts and how to do the right combination of all these concepts. Because it is really smart to say it's not the amount of concepts that you have in your mind, but how you do the combination of these concepts instantly. Okay. Now, why are we launching this first introduction of the Cybercore labs? As I said before, uh, we saw many cyber map attacks in the last lessons. And we saw that in one day in the world, there are over 10 million cyber attacks. We are talking about detected, those cyber attacks detected, not the unknown, not the invisible. Because if we have to consider also the invisible, unknown, not the declared cyber attacks, those are more than 10 million per day. But a cyber attack is the last ring of the chain. Before a cyber attack, there are many steps, there are many stages. In many cybersecurity books, they talk about 8 stages. Other books talk about 12 stages. But the main stages are reconnaissance, information gathering, weaponization, creating malicious tools. That's the second stage. Then we have the third stage, delivery, sending the tools, exploitation, gaining access, so entering through the back door, so using port sniffing activities, installation, so setting up persistence, they get connected with your computer, command and control, they are start having control and command of your notebook, of your PC, actions on targets. And once they have command and control, they can do anything they want, even if you are not aware about this. Now, let's stop this first section, go back to the live. Let's go to the chat. It's really important to engage the audience. So let's see. Oh, a lot. We are really a lot of people tonight. I will say hello to Famous, to Okoye, to Osai, to Osita. Very good. If you, we can start now. The first 15 minutes finished, so we can open a small session for questions. So if you have questions, you can write here on the chat. Any kind of question, I will try to discuss together with you the importance of a Cybercore labs. Then we'll go into other details. So if you have any question, just drop me a message on the chat. We are connected live. And still more people are entering the room. So Malaki, hi, very good. Nathan, so a lot of people is joining. Okay. If you don't have questions, I will continue. Okay. Let's go and start with stages of a cyber attack. Attackers gather information about the target to find what? To find vulnerabilities and weaknesses of your PC. That's the first stage. They want to detect which is the notebook, which is the PC desktop computer, which is not well protected. So they know that maybe a notebook, a computer is not well protected, and so they can understand it during the first stage called reconnaissance. Attackers gather information about the target to find vulnerabilities, weaknesses. This can involve passive methods like public information searches or active methods like scanning the target's network. When we will launch the activities, when we'll launch our agenda with Cybercore Labs, we will do activities. So let's say we have around 40 Cybercore Labs. Among all of these, our team will do a selection to find the best Cybercore Labs and at the same time to bring all the others to the same level. Okay. We will first get two labs. The first lab will do a simulation of an attack. The second lab must do the activities of a cybersecurity team. So they must protect their computer. It's like having two boxers on the ring. There will be a first roundup, and we will see how the first lab, which will do the simulation of a hacker, try to attack the second lab, which must defend its own field, so which must defend its own boundaries, must avoid the attack of the Cybercore lab. Let's say the Cybercore lab is number one. The other Cybercore lab is number two. So the number one Cybercore lab must do a simulation, an attack simulation against the Cybercore lab number two. The activities of the Cyber lab number two is to protect its own computer, to protect its own network, to protect its own perimeter, and to do monitoring on the nearest second perimeter and to the nearest third perimeter. So it's a simulation. Usually it can be around 5, 10 minutes. And that will be the first roundup, the first round, like box, the first round. Then we will select other labs. If other labs are like, let's say, number 3 and 4, we will give the cybersecurity uh, mission for the lab, Cybercore lab number 3, to do a simulation attack to Cybercore lab number 4. We'll do many roundups. In this way, all the members will be really involved in these simulations. Some people say, oh, it's some kind of pen testing, penetration testing. Yes, but with a great difference. All Cybercore labs are doing monitoring. So it's like seeing the famous map I showed you in the other lessons, where we saw the cyber war that was happening in the world, many attacks. All the other labs will see in real time how cyber attack simulation is taking place. Now let's go back to this is the first part of the explanation. I talked about the first stage. Now let's say what happens in the second stage of a hacker attack called weaponization. The attacker develops tools and malicious strategies to tailored, specifically tailored to identify and to jump over these vulnerabilities. So to go inside your computer. Once the hacker finishes the second stage, we have the third stage called delivery. The weaponized payload is sent to the target through many ways, including phishing emails, compromised websites, or exploiting network vulnerabilities. So, as you see, there are many stages before the real cyber attack. I will go with the fourth stage, which is installation. There can be many processes which are automated by the hacker that not only uses his notebook or his PC desktop, but he can also write prompts, can also write scripts or low coding, give instructions to other powerful computers that can do the job with an extremely endless power in seconds, launching not only few attacks per second, but launching thousands or even million attacks per second to the target. Okay. At the end, I think few computers will be so lucky to avoid a targeted attack like this. Once this happens, the hacker or a group of hackers are looking to have control or looking to have control of your computer. And this stage is called command and control. When they establish that communication channel with their computer and your computer, and they can control your computer remotely, they can listen. Some of you have already heard about a software called Keylogger, a small software they install on your PC. And while you digit on your keyboard, every digit is automatically sent to the hacker or to the group of hackers. The small software is called Keylogger. Okay. But there are so many other tools, really extremely sophisticated tools. At the end, we have the real attack. Can be also extremely destructive, can really stop your computer, or can become a zombie. There are many methods to remotely control your computer. One of the smartest hackers never want to block your computer, but your computer becomes a zombie. So they can have remote control and do anything they want. They are looking to steal your identity. They are looking to clone your identity, but there's a endless list of malicious activities. So why are we launching a Cybercore lab? To start doing these kind of simulations, these kind of an exercise because you have to think like a hacker. Your mindset. If you want to become a cybersecurity specialist, you must be smarter than a hacker, or at least at the same level. Let's go back now to the live session and see. Oh, a lot of people joined in the meantime. Let's see if they have some questions. So, who is writing here is Urok is asking, what programming languages are we going to learn in cybersecurity? First of all, you don't have to become a coder, a programmer, because hackers are not using a lot of codes. They use low coding scripts, okay, because they know very well where to go using the shortcuts. Okay, they're not like programmers that digit to make software. They can also make software, but their target is to find a shortcut to jump over all the barriers, all the protections, all the devices, hardwares, and softwares that protects your nearest perimeter, which I told you before. The nearest perimeter of your notebook is your LAN connected with your rack, with your web server. Then they look the area where your office is, which is the neighborhood, and then also see the zone. So the third perimeter outside the second perimeter. So they have time to gather all this kind of information. We're going to use a Python, Uroko, Python. We're going to use software to be installed on your computer, like PowerShell for the command activities, CMD. So we will explain how to install many tools, and you can see this list on the course. Let me check now the course. You have, let me go to the course and tell you the chapter of cybersecurity. So it's chapter 15. So on chapter 15 of cybersecurity level basic, we will start in using tools and using these softwares. I have written PowerShell, okay, but there are so many others because one of the most important things is your IP, means the address of a computer. And there are so many softwares that are able to detect your IP. We will also see the category of softwares that do port scanning or port sniffing, because the back doors of your PC can be also open and available for hackers to create that connection with their remote computer and your computer. Then we have the famous hacker kit called Kali Linux. Then we have many other toolboxes that we will discover together, with also online tools. Uh, Last week, I discovered a platform where it is not really necessary to install softwares on your computer, but we'll also use inside Cybercore Labs when we will start launching these activities, online tools in cloud. So that's another good way to start. Let me see now the other questions. Okay, so I have a question from Joseph Asai. I say hello to Joseph Asai, and he says, does it mean that a cybersecurity professional, we are to learn all programming language, or is there a particular one for us? So you must not learn, as I told you before, all programming languages. No. Core concept of cybersecurity is to understand the operating system. If you want to protect a webcam, you must understand the firmware that is used by the webcam. All the vision technology has their own firmware, which, in other words, is also their operating system. It's So I can tell you, it is not really necessary to know all the languages, also because there are so many frameworks for coding and so many languages that can be really impossible. But you can start studying the firmware installed also on your smartphone, Android. What is an app? Okay. If you want to do something really easy, start from the operating system, and let's start from the formats of files. For example, app. If you change the extension of app dot apk and you put dot zip, you can make a discovery by yourself to see what's inside. You will see some kind of packages. Okay. So I think I said to Joseph Osai, is it necessary to know all programming languages? No, it is not necessary. But if you can know a couple of them, it is really precious for you to use and to understand the world of coding. It is good to know the operating system. It is good to understand the firmware. For example, what is the operating system of a car, of a vehicle? It is CAN bus. CAN bus is the operating system, how to send signals inside car, all the components talk together. So the best way to let these components of a car to talk together is using an operating system, or let's say the firmware of the car, which is called Canvas. Okay. In the case of the smartphone, the operating system of a smartphone is Android. Apple has its own. So, Internet of Things, we must consider that every device has its own way of working. And we must understand that hackers always choose the operating system that is weak and the operating system that is not updated or upgraded. So, for cybersecurity specialists, that node, so these are called nodes because, or let's say, rings of the value chain. It is good to start studying, but we have the chapter in our course where we talk about operating systems. Um, we must also consider when we talk about cybersecurity that it is not only the technology we have on Earth. As I said before, today we must join the word Earth with space. So let's talk about space economy. It is the extension of Earth economy, and today it's all one. It's all one. It's all included. It's all in one. Okay. Satellites are thousands of objects flying in a zone called LEO, low Earth orbit. Internet is using also the connection and the standards and the operating system of how satellites are being managed. So it is a field that we'll discover together, doing some tests and on protocols and doing some tests on devices. Now let's see if we have other questions. Um, okay. We have a question from Eva Sinaki. Good evening, Prof. What is the difference between programming and coding? I will ask, you can Google that. Well, that's a really easy answer. You can Google that. Here we are really thinking about the low coding scenario. Programming is a big word. Coding is really a big word. But today, hackers use low coding. They use prompts. Prompts is a script, is a really short script that is able to communicate in the fastest way to AI platforms, in the fastest way to other high tech ecosystems. So I will rather prefer the word low coding. I will rather prefer the word prompts, how to write a prompt, because if you know the language of a machine, you can talk better to the machine. But if you don't know very well the language of a machine, you will waste your time and you will guess to get the right answer. Okay. Let's now check something really interesting inside our course. Okay, let me go to our course. I would like to show you something about the content I loaded last week. The course of cybersecurity level basic is updated continuously because the scenario of the cybersecurity field worldwide is changing really, really fast. Okay. I'm inviting also you to start studying and start clicking on the checkbox mark as complete because for sure within on October, we will start to doing personal interviews. We'll start to doing tests. We'll start to doing quiz, and we'll start to doing exams to understand the level of knowledge that you reached. Okay. Now let me go to a section of a chapter of the course. Really interesting. We saw software. Okay. Now let's go to coding and programming Europe. Yeah. So on chapter number 12, you will find many links to what happened in the last weeks and let's say months regarding the evolution of cybersecurity. One of the most important, now I'll share my screen with you, is this one. Now I'm sharing again my screen. So we'll see it all together. Okay. So as you see, we are on the official website of the European Commission, and this is the European Union Cybersecurity Act. As I told you before, we have the so-called ENISA agency. ENISA agency, okay, which is the agency of the European Commission. ENISA. Here it is. So these two websites must be your polar star. Okay. One is called ENISA, which is the European Union Agency for Cybersecurity, and the other is the latest European Union Cybersecurity Act. In the course, you will find these two links on chapter 12. And here's chapter 12, okay, in the section Europe. The European Union Cyber Act. And then we have European Union ENISA. Let's see what is really impressive to understand about the Cybersecurity Act. Let's click here because, see now, 1 minute. Okay. They're talking about the importance of a computer security incidents response team, the so-called CSIRT. Stop sharing, and this is a good concept. Our project called Cybercore Labs will be a CSIRT to handle attacks. So let's say it will be some kind of service or H24 service to help other organizations in Nigeria to handle in the best way this cyber war happening today around the world. And why not? The best brilliant minds of this community, like you, I'm sure that there are many brilliant minds. They can also join forces with the already existing government offices, universities, research institutes to share their knowledge, to share their experience, and to join forces. Because one of the reasons why I wanted to launch the Cybercore program in Nigeria is to create an atmosphere of sharing knowledge, an atmosphere of the so-called acquis culturel, of sharing experience, of co-thinking, and to react fast against cyber attacks. And in most cases, these are automated by machines, so-called high performance computers, and the next emerging computers are the quantum computing. So Cybercore Labs will prepare a citizen to become a smart citizen. And in this case, we must not leave a government alone. This is the reason why Cybercore Labs launched a seed to build a cultural responsibility in citizens. to understand that we must join our forces to protect a national identity. And the national identity is one of the most precious things a population can ever have. Hackers wants to clone identity, wants to steal identity. This is the reason why we must defend our data, our identity, and elevate. This is the word elevate that we're using. And in the African language, Ibuni, Ibuni means elevate. So elevate at the highest level the protection barriers and to be aware. This is another concept, awareness. Cybercore Labs will talk about awareness to engage all the audiences, all the segments of the audiences. So, next generation, so the young people, um, the old people, and the civil society. Everybody must be involved. So everybody must understand the importance of getting of being engaged in this process. This is enough for today. In the next coming days, you will receive an update on the students' toolbox. I will also like to invite you to check often the course, to start clicking mark as complete. I will go through the process of the selection of the Cybercore Labs. The Cybercore Labs is the process started, but it needs time to be ultimated, to be completed. The next stage is now selection. So for sure, you'll be contacted by me or by my team. And one of the things that we will ask is for sure how many members of each lab. We will decide for minimum of 3, 4 people, maximum 10, 12. Then we will ask a nice photo of the group, the place where it is, to create a network of all these nodes around the country of Nigeria. If you have any questions now, because we are with the last 10 minutes, so we can trigger a discussion. And next time we will also talk again about the program Cybercore, but you will receive instructions inside your personal account and on the course. So I will also invite you to check the course and the chapters. I will update the course, Cybersecurity Level Basic. We'll have a new chapter at the end. After chapter 16, I will add another chapter called Cybercore Agenda. So you will also carefully follow the next steps and the next activities. I see a question of the chat of what's up, asking how can a port be detected, open port be detected. So in this case, there are softwares like a port scanner software or network protocol analyzer called Wireshark and many others. Because if your computer is connected to a LAN, you must also know all the computers connected and a lot of information that these softwares can give you. So at the end, you will have a dashboard of information. In other words, the level of attention is now getting higher. We had 2 months of general discussion, but now I'm inviting you to be really serious on the content, to follow carefully the agenda, because the best part of this cybersecurity course is coming. We will do real activities with real people, with real places, with real labs. Obviously, these are ethical simulations, not malicious. Ethical means that we're not going to destroy sensible data of no one. We're not going to destroy sensible data of citizens. No, it is a simulation between the labs created by us. Okay. Now let's go back to the lesson. If you have any, and let's go back to the session. If you have any questions, I'm here to understand and to try to reply the fastest way possible. If not, I think for tonight that is enough. Let me check also the connection with WhatsApp. Okay, everything was so clear. Very good, very good. So thank you for your time. You will receive the agenda. You will receive the instructions for the next step. Our team, in the meantime, will do the selection of the Cybercore labs. It will be a simple process. We will You don't have to be worried about nothing. We just to want to put on the same level all the 40 Cybercore labs that have been uploaded by you. So this is a great response. My call was successful. You replied, and I'm happy for that. So thank you very much for your time. And I hope that I will see you the next live session we'll do this week. And let's cross fingers because this is the first time that a cybercore network has been launched in Nigeria from the bottom, starting from citizens who are willing to become smart citizens. So, with a big knowledge and a great cultural responsibility, how to protect their own nation by hackers coming from abroad. So, thank you again. Oh, I have a last question from if Sinaki Michael. He's asking, can we still upload more labs? Yes, you can. There's no deadline of uploading uh, proposals. There's no deadline of uploading proposals of Cybercore labs. Obviously, the proposal must follow the process of selection, and the selection will be done by our team. Oh, there's another question here from Uzo Danimpe. Hello. In my optimism, both the cyber collabs and the operation of smart citizens, how to the operations in vis-a-vis law in Nigeria as per for security agents. No, no, we're not aiming to become data government officers. No, no, no. We are training citizens to become smart citizens. We are building cybersecurity awareness. Obviously, this local community can help other organizations, can help companies, can give technical assistance once they are trained by us. So we will guarantee that we uh, gave to you the best content to study, and so you have a strong knowledge, so you can be able to give assistance to others. So let's see another question. Okay, so I think for tonight that's enough. The concepts that I'm sharing with you are really precious. So keep in mind that every new session there will be something really interesting. So brick by brick, we will build this big wall. Thank you again for your time. Thank you. See you next time.